Hello, most awesome Sims 2 fans, and welcome back to the channel. I am Tipsy Mommy Shark. Today, we're going to be doing a build/renovation of a tiny home for my 100 baby challenge. We're going to be using the Sims 2 Legacy Edition. Also, by the end, I'm going to tell you how you can get a custom content free version of this little house to use in your game. I had taken the 2-bedroom, 1-bath ranch home that we all have in our little house Sims bin. I suggest if you've never explored there to do so, but I wanted to have some decor for about $16,000 as a starting price, and you're going to see me checking to make sure we're around that price because I want my starting sim to have some funds for the beginning of this challenge. I am not sure exactly how many babies I will actually get through in this game because I don't particularly like babies or toddlers. I'm fine once my children get into childhood or teens, but prior to that, I'm just not very good with them. Also, their lifespan is very short. I figure we could have a starting sim and maybe she could do 2 of those little juices that extend their life, or cow plant juice. I'm not sure how we're going to do it, but then when she gets old, somebody else will have to take over for her and continue on. But I figure 100 babies from there, it's doable. There's some rules, but I think they're basically guidelines. I'm not sure. On top of that, it is hard to raise children in The Sims 2. When I was looking this up, there actually is not very many YouTube Sims 2 100 baby challenges, and I'm sure that is because The Sims 2 is very, very difficult. It was hard to make. It was harder to get started making money in The Sims 2. It's hard to take care of kids in The Sims 2. You have stinky diapers and bottles and stuff all over. Also, if your kids feel neglected, that social worker is coming to take your children away, which almost never happens in The Sims 4. I never played much of The Sims 3. You will have to let me know in the comments below if that was a terrible thing in The Sims 3. My daughter plays a lot of The Sims 3, but I was older and needing to take care of children, and my career was going by then, so I did not get a whole lot of Sims 3 time. On top of my feeling that in general, The Sims 2 is just harder to play and raise children, I also believe that I have made The Sims 2 harder. I have a ton of mods, like the mod that cuts your income in half if you are going to work, which of course with the 100 baby challenge, your girl cannot go to work, so that doesn't matter. But I also have the mod that exponentially increases your bills. So my bills will be insane for this little tiny house. Then I did have the possible death during childbirth mod, and my daughter had already started hollering at me because I do end up with a lot of people dead during childbirth because if you don't keep their needs up, they die. So I did already pull that mod out of my mods folder. I do have a mod in here that it makes it a lot more difficult as far as keeping body temperature. The temperature around my sim really impacts Sims, especially for whatever reason, infants. So I did have to put air conditioning units in the house. The air conditioning units keep the house temperature at a constant temperature so that the children can't get too hot or too cold. So I've already spent on that kind of thing. You actually do not see the air conditioning units in this video, or I don't think in any of the shots that I put in, but I do have to tell you that I've already pre-recorded about 6 episodes in. I think we may be pregnant with the 3rd baby, I'm not sure. But while I was studying for my big test, which by the way, I passed, yay! I would have an hour here and an hour there. to just goof off. And so I did do some pre-recording because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with this series, but you will get to see some of that, at least until I have a nervous breakdown, or as my kids are constantly coming in and giving me a hug. I was a single mom of 2, and they keep joking that I am always triggered, especially when I'm like, oh my God, we have no money, and I just go crazy at one point. And so they're having a lot of fun watching me go nuts with this 100 baby challenge. I did make myself the starting sim, and we have my cat Lucian that you always see or hear when I'm recording. So we are going to be the sim that begins this challenge, which is maybe why this series hits so close to home for myself and my kids. But anyway, and then we're going to start naming each child according to letters of the alphabet, and you'll get to see that, and you will also have time to mention names, because like I said, I'm only about 3 babies in and already going crazy, so you'll have plenty of time to be freaking out along with me as I'm posting the Let's Play along with builds and renovations. We have not abandoned my city build in any respect. We'll be going back there and renovating in the city as well. Before we hit the end of this video, I want to mention the coloring of the house. I know most of you don't think of me as a cozy builder. I'm more sinister and evil, and this was very, very cozy. I wanted this to be cozy and lovely and pastel so that it looks very inviting and like you would want to live in my beautiful tiny home. In the pictures you're going to see, I put some lovely flowers even behind and around this lot. It is just a place you would want to move into before the terror begins. I already know how this Let's Play is going to go before I ever start it. I am not a big even family sim player. Like, I'll have 1 or 2 children. Even if I'm playing myself, I have my 2 children and that is it. It's done. So to think about filling up a house full of Sims, I am not going to play with any mods. We're to expand how many people you can have in a house. It's going to be 8 people or whatever, and that's the end of it. But even to have more than 1 child at a time, already I've got 2 kids and my girl's pregnant with another one, and literally I am at the end of my rope. So when I was making this beautiful little tiny house, the idea was it's almost tongue-in-cheek satire that look at my beautiful little house for the horror that is to come. And so that is honestly what I was thinking, although it is a beautiful little tiny home. And I did then upload it. I'm going to put it on Sims File Share, and I'm going to put it in the link in the description down below with a custom content. There is custom content in this, but I did a custom content free version for you all, and I did then even upload it back into my regular game, and I'm using it for myself just because it did turn out absolutely beautiful, and I just thought it was very pretty. As I joke about the evil of pastels, you did see me just check the amount that I had spent on the house. Like I had said before, I really, really needed to keep it about $16,000 so we would have some money left. Usually you get $20,000 or simoleons rather when you put a single sim onto a lot. We have a cute little dining table. I wanted to have a couch and a television. I think I need a bookcase as well. And then I want to go in and I would like to decorate the lot a little tiny bit. Something like maybe a tree in the front yard. I always think plants really help a lot. And then too, I want to what you call dirty up the lot. I don't think the lots look as nice with just plain and flat. I don't do a lot of terrain manipulation because your sim can get stuck on terrain that's bumpy, and I need this to be a very, very functional lot. I also wanted to get a easel because I wanted the sim to be able to paint or do something for money, because my sim is obviously not going to be able to work. But I did want to do something with the terrain. So I do a lot of times do a bunch of things like putting dirt around and making the terrain look dirty, because if you look at somebody's lawn, your terrain is not just always nice, manicured, perfectly green. There's always brown spots and that sort of thing. So usually by the time I end a lot, you see me kind of messy it up a little tiny bit. Sometimes just ends up screwing things up if I've used paint, the terrain paint, like I did for the walkway in the front and the little back thing. You're gonna say I totally like goofed that up, but that can always be redone. But I do think it adds something to a lot when the lot is just not perfectly green. I do go back over and add grass. It's not just all dirt. But if you did a whole dirt lot, it could make it seem like it was more muddy or something like that. But I do think that that adds to the story if your lots aren't perfect. But anyway, I did have to be careful. By the end, we came in right at budget, and you'll have to watch the rest of the story, but it still wasn't enough. I want to thank you all for watching. Please take a moment to like and subscribe, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.